welcome to another fun-filled episode of A&B Sports Media, the podcast. My name is AJ.
And I am Bill.
And let's get right into the news.
Oh my God, we're going to go into, the news, but then we're going into today in sports history first, though.
Well, I consider that news.
That is current, that is events.
Because that's news to us.
That is news, yes. So we're going to start with the first one because I'm just going to go with the oldest one in 1910.
God
and
damn.
keep in mind, we are recording live on July 31st, 2023. We're going to try to start recording on Mondays.
And
We'll see how
probably push them out Tuesdays, but
if we can.
But
Yeah.
depending on how the football season kind of goes.
That's what
it
we're
might
setting
be-
the new schedule for.
Yeah, I might need to work a little kinks out and get Monday night.
Before we start with the news, I'm sorry, we do have an update real quick. We were supposed to have a guest of this episode. However, due to scheduling conflicts on our own end, we're going to save them for next episode.
Yes.
We're also relocating at this point, oh my God, to a different studio where we'll be able to, record live and yell obscenities without any shame. Anyway,
Without any shame.
Yep. July 31st, in 1910 Tour de France, Octave Lapise of France wins just by 4 points from Team Alcyon, teammate Francis Faber of Luxembourg. I had no idea there was scoring in the Tour de France. It's a bicycle racing thing. I don't get that. Anyway.
It's how many people you hit.
There's a lot of Tour de France stuff going on here, so we're going to skip that. In 1932, the International Lawn Tennis Challenge in Paris, France. We're doubling up in France today. Home team wins 6th straight title as Jean Barata beats American Wilmer Allison for a 3-1 or 3-2 series. And we're going to do one last thing when it comes to birthdays in the sports. Hank Bauer, 1922 to 2007.
Proud of you, Hank.
Way to go, Hank. All right, moving on from that in our day in sports history to the news.
Before we get into the news, this is kind of news too.
This is news.
Obviously, follow us on X.
Yes.
On X.
X.
Yeah, at AB Sports Media.
X.
A lot of people have not been too happy about that, and I know this
guy.
Yeah, I hate you so much. And a lot of people haven't really been happy with it because it doesn't make sense. This is like the most well-known brand.
I'm literally
Twitter.
laughing my ass off because if you the app, yes, it changed to X, but when you're on the website,
It still says
says twitter.com/home.
100%.
Way to go.
But they actually put up a sign on their headquarters, and it was flashing bright and everything. There's apartments right across from it.
Yeah.
They actually just took it down.
That I bet. I saw the videos of it. It looked like the fucking sun at one point.
Yeah, it was just that was just dumb.
Insane.
But yes, please follow us on X, Twitter, at AB Sports Media. But you'll see a lot of stuff that's on Twitter. It's
We're calling it Twitter.
It's always going to be Twitter.
It's Twitter.
A lot of stuff on Twitter, and there was a reason for it. Kelly Greens are out.
Yes, they are.
They finally showed them, and they did not disappoint. The Eagles' Twitter was actually trolling a lot of people consistently, just they knew we all wanted it.
Yes, we do.
Then they kept being like, "Oh wow, just imagine having to wait for the Kelly Greens." We're all like, "Oh, go fuck yourself."
But like, come on, hurry up, please.
But they did not disappoint, and they are one of the highest grossing jerseys right now. But they actually are going to wear them on my birthday against the Dolphins.
Yeah,
I
it's
could
against
not
the
be
Dolphins
more excited.
and the Bills. I think they're doing
Yeah,
it.
they're doing the Bills too. That's so the first one, the Dolphins, will be October 22nd, and then the Bills are going to be November 26th. Both home games, and if they lose either of the home games, I'll actually cry.
Those aren't bad.
No, they're not.
We'll keep that in mind.
Definitely keep that in mind.
I've been researching tickets for a very long time for Eagles games. There's 2 games that we have to at least go to. The Vikings, not even for the home opener. It's
Tradition.
not about that. It's tradition.
Tradition.
The second will be the Miami Dolphins because our one friend's a fan and we want to see him lose and we want to point and laugh at him.
And it's also my birthday, so I want to point and laugh at him on my birthday as well.
That's fair. We could do that too.
But yeah, so the Kelly Greens came out, and everyone was so ecstatic. And of course, in typical Philly fashion, the Eagles fans, so they announced the Kelly Greens, and then a day later on Sunday, they had pretty much the pro shop fitted with them and everything, and it was going to open at 9 a.m. People were tailgating at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
And the Eagles Twitter actually tweeted out like a post from one of the Eagles fans where it's like green Jello shots for the tailgate at the pro shop. And it was just, I'm just so proud of my city. Getting shit done.
That we sit out at 3 a.m. for jerseys.
For Kelly Green jerseys. Hell
No, I'm not
we'll
even
make an event
no.
for anything. But actually, too, so there was people sitting outside the Cherry Hill Pro Shop as well.
I forgot there was a pro shop in our own neighborhood.
So did I, but a lot of people are actually tailgating that as
Maybe
well.
go there, then.
Yeah, but there was one lady who actually was tailgating. She was like first in line, and they were just asking her like, "Hey, did you take off work for anything?" She was like, "No, I've been here since 3 a.m. Sorry, Wells Fargo. Don't worry, I'll be there. I gotta work Drake tonight." So it's just, yeah. I mean, if it's just for like the jerseys or you're tailgating, like, yeah, just don't take off.
Just say $99 for a men's Nike Jalen Hurts Kelly Green Philadelphia Eagles alternate legend player jersey.
That only $99?
Only $99.
Right.
I don't know what the difference between the men's Nike Jalen Hurts Kelly Green Philadelphia Eagles alternate game player jersey. Alternate game player and alternate legend player. There's a difference between game player and legend player.
What's the difference?
No fucking clue.
The only thing I see is the inside one's like.
Look at the top.
It might just shoulders. Be a different. Yeah.
The shoulders maybe because if it's a game jersey, maybe it's designed for the shoulder pads.
So you would get an authentic one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that adds on another $40 right there.
I'm 100% getting the Kelly Green
legend one, but
you're gonna get that's the 99 one.
Yeah, not of Hurts though.
Of who?
Who do you think? I have to be original.
Elliott?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
The bitch is they don't have one for Jake Elliott.
They will. It might not be up yet. But
I have to reach out or I have to go to the pro shop and maybe custom order one.
Well, because today they were actually having trouble with so many people wanted to get like jerseys and everything, and it was crashing, and they only showed A.J. Brown and
They
Hurts.
haven't ever Brian Dawkins one ready to go.
Yeah, no. So like they're slowly like pushing out like more players out there, so that's good to know.
Yeah.
But it's really cool too because now like the highest the top 4 selling jerseys right now, respectively. Number 1 is Jalen Hurts, the Kelly Green one.
Makes sense.
Number 2 is Sauce Gardner. Gardner. I don't know how to say Gardner. Sauce Gardner. Number 3 is Derrick Henry.
Makes sense.
But that was their throwback jerseys as well. Number 4 is Justin Jefferson. But it's funny that as soon as what the fans want, in what color they want it in, it becomes the number 1 selling jersey in Jalen Hurts, and that's awesome.
Yeah. And they have most of the players, but if you can't find your player, though, you could do the custom one. Make your custom one. Don't forget this, too, even though I shouldn't be bringing this up. And that's only because I want to win, and I love you all. But, again, American capitalism, fuck you, I want mine. There is a Kelly Green sweepstakes. If you go on the Eagles website, they have a sweepstakes to get a signed Eagles jersey for Jalen Hurts, 2 tickets to the Miami game, and you also get to go on the field for the pre-game fight, Eagles fight song. Yeah, so I signed up.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, so I already said if I win, we're going, and if you win, we're going, and you can't take anyone else because I will kill you if you do.
So for early birthday present, just sign me up. Like, just sign up as me under your email, and if we win, then we both get to go.
All right, fine. I'll sit in the corner and cry, but that's
nice. Fair. Let's go.
Thanks.
I'm gonna send so many videos to you.
You're lucky I have 6 emails.
Well, we also have this one.
We have the work email.
We do. Yeah. There you go.
I'm taking that one. Fuck you.
Sticking on Jalen Hurts too, something that I thought was really cool was they had they obviously had their training camp, kind of talent show. It used to be a talent show.
Yeah.
And now most people are just singing anyway. And a cool little note that a lot of people were catching on to was that Jalen Hurts' background for his phone was the picture of him walking off the Super Bowl with the confetti. So he is locked in.
Yeah,
and
he's
he actually,
ready to go.
He actually did this when he was in college too. When they lost to Alabama, I forget to who. It was almost the exact same type of thing.
Okay.
And guess what they did the very next year?
They won.
They won the whole thing. So hoping that history repeats because, I mean, dude, anytime now that we have Jalen Hurts and he's only getting, and all throughout training camp, they're saying like he just looks a lot better too, which is crazy considering like where he was last year. Like just him only getting better is going to be so much fun to watch. But having him, man, that we're going to be playoff contenders for a minute. What? You took a gasp.
Oh, yeah, no. Every day, I also, because I am trying to spend money like I don't have it, because I only live once.
Hell yeah.
I've been looking into Eagles season tickets for the past 3 years. I understand. I'm on the wait list, and there is over, I think it's 90,000 people from the last email that I got.
Sounds about right.
So I'm not getting on there until I'm like 80.
Keep in mind, aren't the people that are on that list, don't technically their children get priority?
I don't know. I hope not, because fuck them kids.
Yeah.
And if you have kids, I'm terribly sorry, but I want tickets. But there's also the SBL option where you can go online and they have a whole website within the Eagles organization where you can buy the seat license for, season tickets. The problem is it's very fucking expensive. The most expensive tickets, which I actually think is actually they're great. The section 133, which sadly is actually where I think we watched last year. No, it was the other side. That was 114. But it's in the corner where you get a great angled view of the game and you're on Eagles side. It's row 1, so seats 8 and 9. So you're literally in the front row.
Yeah.
Guess how much each ticket costs? I know you could see it.
Before you even looked, I was going to say a lot less than that.
Yeah, no. Somebody is asking for $124,500.
I was going to say like a solid $5,000, but like even the average.
You want to see the cheapest? The cheapest that you can get for 2 tickets is $18,000.
That is ridiculous.
Because they don't really do much in the top sections, and if they do, that you have to get lucky, because there's not as many listings as up for sale. I keep an eye on it daily just to see if something comes up, because then you have to contact them, then you got to do the exchange. Mm-hmm. I also would probably need to take out a loan, because while I have that type of money, that's saving me from being homeless.
Pretty much, yeah. Dude, either we need to become actual beat reporters for the Eagles and get into the press box every game. Unfortunately, can't tailgate. Well, you can tailgate with them, but you can't get hammered either.
That is one thing. I know we're getting way off track, but I don't really care at this point. I would love to be like an announcer or commentator, especially even if it was even for football, hockey. Hockey, I wouldn't be able to follow well, but baseball. But more importantly, I would love to be like a ring announcer for like a mixed martial arts event and just scream my head off.
Be like Joe Rogan?
Nah. Bruce Buffer or Mike Buffer.
Oh, okay.
I want to be yelling out, "It's time!" Like, "Are you ready to rock?"
Are you ready to rumble?
Let's get ready to rumble, like that. But I want to be more like Bruce Buffer, where I scream like bloody murder, like you're about to go to war.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look into that a little more. I don't think it's going to lead anywhere, but I would love to try. If anyone wants to give me a shot, I'd love to go for it.
That is true.
Help me out.
We're here for capitalism and self-improvement. So if
I'm here to do free work.
Okay, let's not go that far, right, Bill? Because maybe you're good at it, and then you're stuck in the free work.
Yeah, that's fair. Back to reality. Sorry.
Oh, there goes gravity. Going back into it, kind of sticking with some football, there was some pretty decent-sized news on injuries. We're going to slowly start ramping up into more football news as we're now getting into the season picks up. Last month until football is the last month of no football, official football. We will have preseason and stuff like that, and I'm a big fantasy guy. I know Bill's going to try and start getting into it.
Yeah,
we
just talked about that before it started.
A lot of people are interested in fantasy football. It's just a fun overall time, so we're going to start incorporating some updates. Try to get as much as we can within the podcast, but there might be some stuff we miss. You can yell at us at AB Sports Media on Twitter, or yell at us at our email, billandajmedia@gmail.com.
Please.
Always love a good yell from our fans. It means that you're there and you care. But so we have the Seahawks, who were looking like an absolutely dominating powerhouse of like an offense. They recently just drafted Jackson Smith and Jigba for the wide receiver. They drafted a running back, Zach Charbonnet, who's kind of like a powerhouse, power back, to kind of go with Kenneth Walker, who was a stud last year, especially as a rookie. But unfortunately, both Kenny Walker and Zach Charbonnet are hurt. And they're out for the foreseeable future. Not looking too good, especially for, but Kenneth, we already know what he's got. So it's kind of easier to be like, all right, well, when he gets back, it's just going to plug and play.
Yeah.
But Zach, being a rookie, kind of being hurt and missing all those preseason snaps, it's going to be kind of rough for him to get into it. So hopefully he has a quick recovery because he was one of the running backs that a lot of fantasy people and even just like football analysts are really intrigued to get into. Sticking on the running back side, no official news is announced yet, but Dalvin Cook is looking like he's really going to go with the Jets.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers has sung praise with him. He went on a visit. The head coach has explicitly said that after his visit, he's now a truther. He's now all aboard the Dalvin Cook train. So it's looking like it'll be the Jets. Unfortunate for you Breece Hall fantasy owners. But Dalvin Cook on the Jets, that team's going to be disgusting. But someone was like, wow, this is sounding like the dream team that'll just go about like 7-9. So let's hope they don't go 7-9 because they were a fun team to watch last year, and they were just a QB away from like making a decent playoff push. And I know that one of our other friends is a big Jets fan and a sorry Dolphins fan friend. But you guys are going to have a fun competition.
That they are.
But we're going to go on a sadder note, going back to baseball, because the Phillies can't get out of their own goddamn way, Bill.
No, they can't.
They win a series against Baltimore, the Orioles, who has the best record in the AL, I believe. I don't know if they still do, but I know they did. And then they just completely shit the bed against the Pittsburgh Pirates, who I don't know how we lose.
Orioles are still ahead.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Well, it does, and I'll explain a little bit more now. Phillies they're built for the fact that they'll out-hit you. They're built on the sense that we have a lot of fantastic hitters, and we're all about, as most runs as we can produce in any given game. The problem is the fact that, with that being said, we are in the best technical sounding team.
Yeah.
Too many dumb errors, and Trey Turner, as much flack as he gets, he's still part of those errors. He actually, Bill, if you can look this up for me, I think he might have the most errors on the team.
Who again?
Trey Turner.
Trey Turner. Okay.
Which is not good, especially for someone who just got an 11-year contract of like $300+ million, and he's supposed to be the shortstop of the Philly future with Bryce Harper. If you're gonna be an offensive-minded team, then the bats have to stay alive throughout the whole time. And if they don't stay alive the whole time, then you're gonna have to rely on the defense that isn't really there.
That's only until 2021. So I'm looking still.
But that's not all the issues either. The other issues is just dumb mistakes. So the game they had yesterday, they had
13.
Yeah, he has 13. He has the most, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's the most, and that's not. You're a shortstop who just got big bucks, and not only are you having hitting woes, now you're gonna have. We brought you in as a talented shortstop who can hit. He was also known to be a very good fielder, and now he's just not that either. I think it's the Castellanos type treatment he's getting. I think that what Castellanos was last year, where he was there, but especially in the playoffs, everyone was like, "God damn it, Castellanos! Pick it up." And then now he's having a phenomenal season. Unfortunately, Trey Turner does not have the luxury, because where Castellanos got a 4-year deal, Trey Turner got an 11-year deal with more money. So we need to start picking it up a little bit. But the other issue is that, going back to what I was alluding to earlier, is they had this play where it was 1 out, man on second and third, and it was I believe it was still a tie game at this point. Fly ball out to right field. The guy has a cannon, so if you're going to hold him, you're going to hold him. I get that. He throws home. And you're like, all right, well, he held him. He didn't run him. It was Bryce Harper at third, who's pretty quick, but the guy did just hose it all the way to home. It was like a one-hopper. It was a crazy throw. And all of a sudden, you see Alec Baum is pretty much standing right next to Bryce Harper, meaning He has to run all the way back to second because now he's caught in La La Land. The catcher, all he has to do is run at him, then throw to second as well. And when they throw to second, Bryce Harper runs, and he gets caught at home, and Alec Baum doesn't move over to third. And it's stupid little mistakes in baseball that will always kill you, no matter how good of a team you are. That's where the saying, like, doesn't matter how good you are, like, even the worst team can beat the best team in baseball. It's because some teams just, like, those are the days you're going to have sometimes. But the Phillies, it's not just sometimes with those games, it's a lot of times.
Yeah.
And normally they can out-hit their way. They can kind of come up with those big plays. But just like I was alluding to earlier, if the bats aren't on, then you're screwed. And you're going to look like the only reason they didn't look dumb in, like, the most recent stretch up until now is because they hit the way out of it and everyone was like, oh, well, they won. It was an ugly win, but they won. Now there's just ugly losses, and it's going to compound. And even though this is sounding like a dreadful notion, like it's definitely not a good look to be in, we're still first place for the wild card, so we're good there. But these things can't, like, in playoffs, the whole reason we had that run is because we were the better team with the better defense, with the better hitting, and the better pitching. Like, that kind of stuff needs to get fixed, and it is a little jarring, especially getting into August towards when it's like the home stretch, but it's just stuff that really pissed me off. And another thing that pisses me off is I don't understand why they don't let Bryson Stott hit against lefties. It doesn't make sense. He is your best hitter, statistically, your best hitter. And because of analytics of lefty on lefty, you don't play him. You play Josh Harrison. That shouldn't be an issue. If you're like, it's one thing if he's batting like 230, 240, you're like, all right, well, lefty, that's it. But like, he's not. He's one of your best hitters, and you consistently do this. And every time you do this, the lineup is just worse off every time. So the idea that you should run your ball club off of pure analytics is really dumb to me. I like the idea of analytics being there, but I don't like the idea that you need to base all your decisions on it. There's a lot of things in baseball that are just traditionally game sense, feel of it is for instance, yesterday too, he took out the guy who had a scoreless 5 innings on 77 pitches, and he probably took him out because of statistics, because he's like, oh, well, got to keep him safe for, like, you know, down the road, or
sounding like Lisa Simpson right now.
That's like, those things will help you in smaller decisions, but in big decisions with a guy who's throwing a no-hitter and a guy who is a great hitter, and you're going to put him on the bench because he's facing lefty, those things, there are other dumb things that'll add up, and just it's stupid. It's really stupid. And even though we're still in a good place, there's things like this that really make me worry for the playoffs.
Tell me how you really feel.
Yeah.
I was just looking at stats too. Bryson Stott is the team leader with a batting average of .306.
Yeah.
But on base percentage though is Brandon Marsh at .365.
Exactly.
Represent.
And
Bryson Stott has 118 hits too, so cool.
When we traded for Brandon Marsh, we traded him for his defense. We didn't trade him for his hitting. So for him being number 1 OBP on the
that's
team.
pretty good. Yeah, his fielding is good too. What was I gonna say? All right, on to more news that we have. We are going to start off with some vroom vroom racing.
Vroom vroom.
Because we are actually at the summer split. Basically, Formula One takes like 2-3 weeks off after the after the Belgian Grand Prix, and then they're not allowed to do anything. So during that time, you won't hear any really crazy Formula One news like about the cars or anything. So this is the last time we're going to talk about it for right now. I'm going to say it's not much different except for like one racer that I'll get back into. So yeah, Max is winning the whole thing. We already know that. Hooray.
He's just on a league of his
He's
own.
on a whole different level. He has a shit ton of points. It's not coming back. But I will say this, because I missed out on last week too. The Hungarian Grand Prix and the Belgian Grand Prix came up recently. And I will say Lando Norris is doing a lot better. He's been in the top 10 a lot more frequently. In the Belgian Grand Prix, he was 7th, but in the Hungarian, he got 2nd. So good for him. Daniel Ricciardo did make his debut back in Formula One, and on the Hungarian Grand Prix, he ended up in 13th, and Belgian Grand Prix, he ended up in 16th. So he needs to shake more of the rust off if he can, because if he can't, he's going to be back where he started. I know he's filling for Nick DeVries, so we'll see how he goes. But, well, I'm not really going to hold it. The next race that we'll have, it's the Dutch Grand Prix, which, everyone that is a Verstappen fan is from the Netherlands, so Dutch. And that's probably going to be wild, full of Max Verstappen stuff. Oh, my God, wild. I think I have a hoodie of him somewhere, I think. But, yeah, that's way down the line. So Formula One for right now, we're going to take a break from. We're not going to talk about it too much. But that is your Vroom Vroom update. Going down to the Philadelphia Union, that's in the Leagues Cup, and that's what I couldn't figure out yesterday, or last episode, regarding Club Tijuana. They were in their match days, so that was before the round of 32. They beat Tijuana 3-1. Tijuana got a red card, and then they played Querétaro. I think I said that right. If not, I'm sorry. That was match day 2 of 3, which they also won 5-1. So they were absolutely killing it. They'll be playing August 3rd at a time to be determined against DC United for the Leagues Cup. So that's going on right now for Union Soccer regarding the Leagues Cup. Regarding overall standings, they are still in third with a record of 12 wins, 7 losses, 4 draws, a total of 40 points. New England is above them at 43. Nashville's under them at 38, so they have a little bit of a buffer room between third and fourth, but needs a lot of good goals to get from third to second. So hopefully they keep playing how they are, and they will get back into the playoffs. Moving on from that, we're going to get into some mixed martial arts and boxing. We're going to start with a couple of different events that happened this weekend. You had UFC, you had PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, and we have some fights coming up this weekend too as well. First and foremost, we'll get boxing out of the way. We had Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. That was disturbing to watch, to say the least. It was an absolute bloody beatdown. Oof. These don't happen often where you're looking at the scorecards and you see... When it comes to boxing, everything's on a base of a scorecard of 10 points. 10 is the highest you can get. Normally, you'll see rounds that are 10-9, where one fighter edges the other one, and it's pretty good. If you see a 10-8, that means some shit went down. It's not a great round for you. And not the end of the world. You can come back. What is it? There was a 10-7 round at one point for, Terrence Crawford absolutely beating the living crap out of Errol Spence. They should have pulled the fight earlier because of how much he was getting beaten. That's still an issue. When it comes to mixed martial arts and boxing to this day, you need to know when to throw in the towel. It's not worth having your fighter get extra damage. Yeah, he was unbeaten, but it doesn't matter. You don't put somebody through all that just to get their ass handed to them. So, Terrence Crawford now is he's undefeated 3-division champion. Now he's the undefeated 4-division champion. I don't know where he's going next. There's not a lot going on regarding boxing at that point. I'm still waiting to keep an eye on the Ngannou Tyson Fury fight, but that's one part of boxing that we have. The second part of boxing that we have is this weekend on August 5th. Yes, at at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz.
Ooh.
This is going to be on ESPN's pay-per-view, or I think it's on Danzon as well. This is going to be a 10-round cruiserweight fight. Cruiserweight is, or technically it's a catchweight, at 185 pounds. At the American Airlines Center in Dallas on Saturday, August 5th. Jake Paul is currently 6'1" with 4 knockouts, and I never knew this. He's from Cleveland, Ohio. That answers a lot of my questions and opinions on him now, a lot more. And Nate Diaz, this will be his pro boxing debut. Nate Diaz is probably one of the most prominent non-champion mixed martial art fighters that there are. He is one of the very few people to beat Conor McGregor. He is also fought Tony Ferguson, which I'll get back to later. He has also fought Jorge Masvidal, Leon Edwards, Benson Henderson, a lot of very high-level mixed martial artists. But now we're going to see how he does in the boxing game. Honestly, I'm not really sure how this is going to go. Nate has always and will always have a hell of a chin. It's never gone away. His body has just been worn out with scar tissue, so he may bleed a lot. But this is 10 rounds of boxing, so that's about, I think each round is 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes each.
Yeah.
So it's about 30 minutes or 23.5 minutes. I don't think Jake Paul has ever gone that far in a distance fight, so he may have to be prepared for the cardio of this and maybe going to decision. Nate does have the most unorthodox 1-2 I have ever seen, and I know it works because it has stunned and finished Conor McGregor with it. Not that we finished him via rear naked choke, but the 1-2 got him to the ground. He also stunned the ever-living shit out of Leon Edwards with a beautiful, very fast 1-2, and I saw that live and lost my damn mind. I was also losing my damn mind because I wanted him to win, and I had money on it, but not the point. So that's something that Jake will probably have to keep an eye on. But Nate, I am rooting for you always and always will be. You are still one of my favorite fighters to watch. He ended his career in mixed martial arts against Tony Ferguson, and that was a fantastic ending to him. Hopefully this just adds a little more money to his pocket, and he calls it a day. Alrighty. Last but not least, we had a event this weekend. And my God, what a weekend that was. That was, past events. Come on, UFC website. Work with me here. UFC 291, Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje 2. This was at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah, which I'll bring back up a reason why later. This card was bananas. It held up to every little bit that it wanted to be of being an absolute dogfight. There was knockouts everywhere. There was wild shit going on towards the end. Overall, a fantastic card. If I remember correctly, there's 11 fights on this card. There was 2 fights that were canceled. I'll get through them real quickly, at least one of them. Out of those 11 fights, though, only 4 of them were to decision. So 7 of them were knockouts or submissions. Damn. It was a good one. Gonna really just the prelims. The only one I want to bring up is Roman Kopylov versus Claudio Ribeiro. I have never seen a head kick go so fast, and Claudio unfortunately took a foot to the face, and it was not sexy for him. He got quite literally knocked the fuck out.
You got knocked the fuck out.
Basically, Roman stepped in, and it caused Claudio to throw a hook, and right when he did, he threw a head kick, as I said, and he just dropped dead. But he's good. He's alive. No fight in the night for that, or performance in the night for that. That's
really
wild. Yeah. I'll get through it later. But otherwise, though, a couple other submissions, knockouts during those cards. What is it? Gabriel Bonfim, 1 minute and 13 seconds in, got a sub. Good for him. And we're going to go right into the main card because there's a lot of things that we have to go through with this on where they go. I'm going to go out of order for the most part, except for the main event. I'll talk about that at the end. The heavyweight bout I'll get to second to last, so I'm going to jump around. First fight on the main card was Kevin Holland versus Michael Chiesa. Kevin Holland came out and actually had a full camp where he had a wrestling coach apparently, and it paid off. Michael tried to do some takedowns, did not work. Michael has not fought in a couple years, so he was not prepared for the long arm of the law that is Kevin Holland, and got striked out, got kneed in the face, and as Kevin does, when he sees somebody's down, he goes to a Darce choke to finish, and that's what he did. He got performance of the night for that. Kevin Holland is finally ranked again. He is now, if I remember correctly, going to be ranked number 12 in the welterweight division. He was originally ranked in the middleweight before moving down to welterweight. So very happy for him. He's probably going to take number 12. If Ian Gary wasn't fighting, I would love to see them two go at each other. Unfortunately, Ian does have a fight coming up, so I don't know where Kevin's going to go next. Maybe fight Neil Magny. That may be a good move. maybe. No, Vincent Luque is fighting Rafael Dos Anjos, so we're going to skip that. So yeah, hopefully Kevin gets a fight soon. He didn't take much damage, so his turnaround should be pretty quick. Next up, the veterans, and I mean that with old age. Lightweight bout, Tony Ferguson versus Bobby Green. So, the fight before this one with Tony Ferguson versus Michael Chandler before he got violently knocked out. Tony looked great. He actually looked like he had pep in his step. He still had the speed. He still had the moves. Not tonight. He was definitely slowed down. Tony needs to retire. I think everyone agrees with me on that. I hope to God everyone agrees, unless they want to see a man in his 40s really just want to get beat the hell up. Bobby was too quick. The Philly shoulder was really working. And it doesn't mean that Tony didn't have a chance. Tony actually stunned Bobby a couple times too. But the big thing, though, is with all that damage that Tony has taken, basically the way I see it is your fight IQ is still there. Your strength may still be there, but your reaction and your speed is gone. You may realize, like, oh, I'm going to throw this 1-2 right now, but by the time you actually throw it, Bobby has already slipped it and then thrown 3 at you. It's a shame. The last thing, though, is this man's style of fighting is not, as I would love to put it, not here for a long time, but a short time.
Yeah.
His style is to go in, trade, bloody war, and have the durability, which he did. Unfortunately, at this point, though, it just does not work that way anymore. He has been subbed his last 2 fights. He literally passed out in this one. He did not tap, so he went into a, he blacked out. The ref stopped it. He's okay. But, I think, honest to God, they really should not have Tony fighting anymore.
Commend him, though, for just, not tapping, just being like, if you're getting me, you're getting me. You know what I mean?
He'll fight to the death, literally to the death about it. But I think he needs a serious mental evaluation because it's just not good. Anyway, moving on. Going to the co-main, because this one is big. It's big news in that sense of what happened. This co-main was a light heavyweight bout. John Blachowicz versus Alex Pereira. This fight, everyone expected an absolute war. It didn't turn out the way that everyone thought. It was more of a war of attrition. This is where the altitude took effect majorly, though. So this was in Salt Lake City, Utah. So the elevations up there does tire out people more. And this was the fight where you saw it the most.
Yeah.
John Blachowicz took down Alex Pereira in the first round, stood on his back, really tried to tire him out. It actually didn't work out the best for him because it tired him out more than anything else. But for Alex, this was a great showcase for him, though. He was able to have better ground control or ground game to able to get up, get out of those sticky situations that he's not used to because he's only 7-2 at the time of this fight. He's only had 9 professional fights. He has no real serious groundwork that he has because he's always been a kickboxer, which is also a problem for him. And what I mean by that is the way he fights is like a kickboxer. He'll throw his combos, wait, and then throw again. The problem that he was having is a very low output when he definitely could have took advantage of John Blachowicz's gas tank being depleted. I know John has the power to knock him out, but he also has to realize he was very close to losing. This was a split decision win for Alex, which is great. I'm glad that he won. He's actually ranked 2 in the UFC's light heavyweight division. Is that what they're going to give him? I don't know. The website has a 2 there, but the rankings aren't updated, so we're going to go with the 2.
All right.
But it doesn't matter. So here's the thing about this fight, though. This is part 1 of the lightweight title bout now. Alex won, and Jamal Hill, the current champion, had to vacate his belt due to a tear in his Achilles.
Oof.
So, yeah, that's a shame. Jiri Prochazka, the former champ, who also had to vacate his belt due to I think it was a dislocated shoulder, is now returning soonish. Enough where he could still, get his healing in. Alex will heal up. And they will be fighting for the light heavyweight belt. I don't know when. We don't know when. It's going to happen. The only reason why we know it's going to happen, Magomed Ankalaev, which is another light heavyweight at rank 2, based off the UFC rankings website, will be fighting Johnny Walker, who's ranked 6. So we know Alex Pereira versus Jiri Prochazka is going to be a fight, and that's going to be a fucking war. Because that guy, Jiri, scares me like no other person alive. That man nearly froze to death on the mountain meditating. He doesn't care. He will, and he does not care. He's scary, but in the most amazing way. That man will fight through hell and back because he wants to. Nobody wants to fight Alex while standing because Alex is a tall, high-level kickboxer that is a double champ in kickboxing. Jerry's probably going to go, okay, cool. I'm going to test my mettle and stand with him and fight him. And honestly, I think he has a hell of a chance because he will have a higher output than Alex. That's my thought on it. But we'll see how it goes once that fight actually comes around. All right. Lastly, the heavyweight fight. Derek the Black Beast Lewis versus Marcos Rodrigo de Lima. I gotta be real, I missed this fight.
Really?
You know why I missed the fight?
Why'd you miss the fight?
Because the fight was over in 33 fucking seconds. I looked down at my phone right when it was about to start because I assumed nothing was going to happen. Marcos came out, and I know you can't see me, but had a very wide guard. He left his chin open. Derek went balls to the wall, ran up, and did a flying knee.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. That's at the beginning of the first round. Literally 2 seconds. He pulled a Masvidal, ran up, flying knee, dropped his ass, and started wailing on him. Couldn't get out of the area, couldn't defend himself, had no idea what was really going on. And he won in 33 seconds.
I saw the interview with Joe Rogan. He's like, did you have any idea that you were going to come out with a flying knee? He's like, hell no, bro.
Hell no, I didn't know what I was
just like, I'm just going to throw this out there and see if it works. Yeah. His after-fight interview was hysterical.
I'll get back to that in a second. Lewis was on a 3-fight losing skid. He was also on his last fight of his contract, which is also very important, too. So we'll see where Lewis goes next, but honest to God, he has an opportunity now with not the UFC, but with the PFL. Because, let's say they bring him over, and they could do this right away because the heavyweight division in the PFL is kind of weak. Mm-hmm. He could fight Ngannou.
Ooh.
Now they fought before. It was a terrible fight.
Yeah.
It wasn't because they were too afraid of each other's power. Honest to God, at this point, I still think Ngannou takes it, but Derek Lewis gets, no matter what, a minimum of $2 million to fight.
Crazy.
And that man has all been about the money. So I would hope that he would consider that. I know the UFC's been good to him. They'll probably still give him a good contract. But if he wants to make money, I think the PFL may be a move. Now, I do got to say, because I forgot to bring this up, when he won, he lost his goddamn mind. Took off his pants, started dancing, doing all this shit because of his most iconic moment when his balls were hot.
Yep.
And made everyone fall in love with Derek Lewis again. And that is why he is still one of our favorite heavyweights. And now on to the main event.
Ooh.
The BMF belt, a.k.a. the baddest motherfucker belt, a.k.a. they won't make a pay-per-view event without a belt on the line. So, this is Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje 2. The first fight went KO via Dustin. So, this one, Justin had to do a lot to redeem himself on. And he fucking did. That was a fantastic 2 rounds of fighting from what we saw. Justin has improved so much from when he came back from that loss against Dustin. This is going to kill me. Dustin and Justin. Anyway, Gaethje improved so much after that loss to Poirier. Yes, he still lost here or there against Olivier or anyone else, but he has overall turned into an incredible striker. Now, here's some irony, and I don't know if this is true. I want to believe it. So, the way Justin won was a beautiful head kick to Poirier. Absolutely stunned him, knocked him out cold right then and there. Herb Dean, the ref, came in with a people's elbow to save his life. Literally sliding in baseball slide just to make sure nothing else happened to him. Here's the fucking wild tale of events, though. In Salt Lake City, Utah, I think it was last year, Kamaru Usman, Gaethje's training partner, lost to a head kick. The exact same fucking type of head kick to Leon Edwards. And I wonder to this day, did they start training it? Did they do anything about that? Or did Justin just go, hey, my teammate lost to that. I'm going to pick that up.
Yeah.
Because he may have. So this puts Justin in a spot where he will probably fight for the belt again. At this time in Abu Dhabi, a couple weeks from now, we have Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira 2. We'll see how that goes. Either way, if Islam wins, he hasn't fought Islam, so it's a fresh fight. But if Charles wins, then Justin gets to fight one more time against Charles, and we'll see where it goes. But that's that regarding last week's UFC 291. Real quickly for this weekend coming up, UFC's Fight Night, Sandhagen versus Font. That is in the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey,
that's going to be at
Nashville.
9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, August 5th. Corey Sandhagen versus Rob Font. I got to give props to Rob. He wasn't supposed to be fighting originally. He was actually supposed to, Corey was supposed to fight Umar Nurmagomedov, and unfortunately Umar received an injury. Other people on this card, Jessica Andrade versus Tatiana Suarez, and Dustin Jacoby versus Kennedy Nzechukwu.
I'll let you try again.
Kennedy Nzechukwu.
There you go.
I don't know. That's wrong, probably. Otherwise, the only other one I want to give a shout out to, just because he has my name, featherweights, Billy Quarantillo versus Damon Jackson. Otherwise, that is it on the UFC currently. I will keep you all updated as shit goes down.
Woo! And I will keep you guys updated on stuff that happens while we're here. So, obviously, we're saying that there was outages with the Fanatics and NFL Shop and stuff like that, but apparently they've been canceling some Kelly Green orders due
Those
to
bastards.
not being able to fulfill them.
Oh.
But these are ones that have been placed even right after the 9 a.m. drop. But they're providing a full refund and a 25% off discount code for the inconvenience.
Oh, I'm signing up now.
But fun fact, to make it even worse, the 25% discount code they provide, you cannot use it on the Kelly Greens.
Fuck that then. I want it for the Kelly Greens.
I feel so.
I am offended. I am appalled.
So I follow a lot of like not beat writers, but a lot of like Eagles influencers like on social media and stuff like that. One of them being, I think it's E-Rock. He was talking pretty much about how he's helping out with like the whole Kelly Green stuff and everything like that, and literally the workers have been busting their ass off to make sure everything's getting like on time and everything. Like the pro shop at the 9 a.m. drop. Yeah. Those things didn't get there until maybe 4 hours, 5 hours before, and then they had to bust their ass trying to set everything up. So.
Props to any physical store, the electric or whatever, online store, all of them. God bless them for trying to get this shit rolling, because it is a mess.
Oh, 100%.
Because they all know this is going to be a massive purchase for people they want, and it's going to outright be hard for the next couple weeks, and I know that.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not blaming them. The software's the issue in this case. The coupon code, though, that's kind of bullshit.
That's funny. They're like, here's 25% off, but not.
Yeah, you can't even get into the store right now. It's crashing.
Exactly. So that's going to be a few days. Hopefully we can get our Kelly Green jerseys.
Yeah, I'll get one eventually.
Yeah, but on that note, that was a pretty fun one. I think we got a decent amount. And I'm excited for next week.
Yeah, next week will be good. It'll be a little bit different. We'll be heavily focused on soccer next week. That was our goal this week, but unfortunately, due to scheduling conflicts on our end, sorry to our co-host or guest, we just couldn't get it rolling this week just due to some, scheduling conflicts. It is what it is. He's fine with coming up next Monday. At least he better be. And he's probably listening to this now going, am I actually going to be ready for Monday? Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
But that will be situated. But again, if you want to, please send us an email. Please go to billandajmedia@gmail.com or our Twitter handle, AMB Sports Media.
There you go. Well, and on that note, my name's AJ.
And I am William.
Oh.
Changing it up today.
You know what? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Bye.
Bye. If gambling has become a problem for you or for someone you know, please call 1-800-GAMBLER to seek free, confidential 24/7 problem gambling assistance. You can also text SUPPORT to 53342 to get more information about problem gambling behavior.